Hello everybody, this is Jean. I am finally getting around to doing my Christmas home tour. It took me a while to get all the decorating done, but now it's finished, so this will be part 3. John, would you mind going over there and opening the cupboard doors for me? We have a lot of vintage Christmas collections, and I wanted to show you all these wonderful little vintage Christmas figures. Some of them spell out Noel, some of them are bells, and some of them are just figurines. And we've been collecting them a lot of years. There's a little Santa Nodder, and that's the only one I have ever seen in the center of that shelf. And up there, they spell out Noel. And more little figurines, and the ones in the center, they are bells. And up there is another Noel. Down here is part of our vintage bowl collection, and they have lots of beautiful old ornaments in it. Thank you, honey, for shutting those doors. A lot of them are very fragile, and a lot of them have very unusual shapes. Those are little figures of different nationalities, which I thought was very unusual. And these green bowls, they have many names. Some people call them the sunset, some of them call the wavy green bowls. But I love old vintage bowls. We have a good collection of those. And here's another one of our trucks that we bought this year. And here's one of the little trees, little pine trees that I just simply put orange slices on. I could do them myself, but it takes time, and I just ran out of time this year, so I actually bought those. And that little tree is setting on a little vintage cooler, and it's a smaller cooler, and I've never seen one that small. And just a basket of my ribbon that I've been using to wrap presents with. And more presents in the olive bucket, and a holiday pillow on the little child's chair. And this tree here has predominantly Polish pottery ornaments on it. Tuesday Morning is the only store we've been able to find them, and every year they have some new ones, and we've been able to add to our collection. Lots of different styles. And they all are hand painted. They cut sponges out in the different shapes, and they only use a paintbrush to do the detail work. And up on top of this cupboard, there's the rag garland that I showed in one of my hauls. And I just used the rag garland with some greenery and bows around some of my vintage items on top of the cupboard. And over here, that is a hand-painted Santa that we got off of eBay. It's the same artist that did a lot of our Halloween paintings. And this is another one of our collections of the little choir boy figurines and planters. Lots of different ornaments on this red tree. This Santa painting is also by the same artist on eBay. Beautiful detail. And there's a Jim Shore Santa. And some other Santas and balls in a dough bowl. And this is one of those prints that we got at Kirkland's this year. Love the snow scene. Love the Jim Shore with cardinals. And here is the kitchen tree. It has lots of miniature kitchen utensils and little miniature fiesta pitchers. And the little apron. And little Santa cups in the window. And I forgot to light those little hanging wreaths. And here's John's Pride and Joy, the big truck that he got. And the little tree with the sweater ball garland. Old Santa Claus book from the 1950s. And an old Santa Claus tin. And here's some of my Anna Lees. These are all bakery related with gingerbread people. And here's a little elf that's resting on the rooster lamp. And here are some of my Santa mugs and my little Santa picture. Sorry for the glare. Another little Anna Lee hanging in the greenery. And a jar of vintage Santas up here. And back there are some Santa and snowmen. And a little truck sitting on the vintage scale. And there's another one of the Target trucks. And more of the vintage Santa pitchers and cups. Another vintage Santa hanging on the wall. And even my Christmas cactus decided to actually bloom at Christmas. Most years it actually blooms right before Halloween. And I know it doesn't show it very well in the light, but this is a hand-painted snowman lamp with jingle bells on it. And here are some vintage pine cone elves. I've collected those for many, many years. And a cute little snowman. And those are vintage salt and pepper shaker snowmen. These are vintage lady planters. Years ago, when you would order a floral arrangement, that is what they would come in for Christmas. And vintage hankies. And those are Polish stoneware mugs. And I also have Polish stoneware Christmas dishes also. Santa print, again, I'm sorry for the glare. And little pine cone elves again on a vintage spice box. I love the jars with the little vintage balls in it, and the little vintage elf and the little vintage bottle brush trees in the back, and then the rest of them are reproductions. And a framed truck Christmas card. Those are Willie Ray. And then on the top shelf, I just took those jars and put some of the little vintage elves with snow and little trees, and one with a little house. And that's a vintage Santa lamp. Well, thank you for watching this Christmas kitchen tour. The living room tour will be soon following. Thanks so much.